there, Dance Plug. It's Ali Kona Bradford, and here in the hot seat with me are the director and one of the actors from the new movie BBoy. You guys, how you doing?
Good, good. I'm doing great.
Okay, so tell me, this is based on a true story. Is it based on your true story or a collection of stories for all of you guys?
It is based on a collection of stories, pretty much, just because we didn't want to focus on just one perspective on one B-boy. Because as a respect to other cultures, especially our own, we're just like, man, maybe we should just get other people's opinions on this, so that way it's not just one idea, or else everybody's gonna hate it. So we thought, let's just merge it with ours, and so that's why I had Duncan Tran, his story. He merged it with ours, and how we came to Hollywood from Chicago, and that just started a whole new franchise right there. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And there were several writers involved in this project. So do you guys ever get to a point where you were bumping heads and didn't know what direction you were gonna go?
Yeah, between Matthew Simmons, Rihanna Hartley, and Raul Quintana, man, we clashed a little bit. And yeah, we went through our arguments, but that's kind of necessary in order to find out how your message is going to be displayed. Because you want to speak the truth, and you don't want to just fabricate it with other people's ideas of how Hollywood portrays dance films nowadays. And we really wanted for B-Boy, the movie, to not just be about just dance. It's about being a human being and finding out your journey.
So then can you each tell me about who your character is and what role they play in the movie?
Go for it.
All right, well, my character is Impulse, and he's pretty much very impulsive. He's Vince's best friend, and he's just down for the ride, Vince gets a lot of opposition. Impulse is just, he's really there for him, and he's down to just ride with it and see where it goes.
So an Impulse, that's your real B-boy name, right?
No.
It's not. Okay, so what would be your real B-boy name?
Well, that is in the movie.
Okay.
It's a character. I'm just known as Duncan.
Duncan. Okay, cool. Because I hear that some people have their names kind of like Impulse. How do people, B-boys, get their names? Because sometimes I hear that other people, give them the name, or is it something you guys come up with on your own?
That's actually a really good question. Well,
I think usually someone gives it to you, based on your characteristics, what you're known for. Say if you're oversleeping all the time, you might be B-boy sleepy. Next thing you know it, hey, this B-boy sleepy. So there's so many different ways you can get a name.
Okay, cool. And so I've noticed too, there's some trailers for this movie. It goes all the way back to 2009. Tell me a little bit about the journey of this.
Well, we started off making a feature. It was 55 minutes long, and it was originally a comedy, and we enjoyed it. It was long. It was a whole month of shooting, but we had really tight corners. We asked a lot of favors from a lot of friends, and even Duncan, dude, he put in a lot of time on this too. He drove in different places, but we originally had 55 minutes, and we're like, you know what? This we showed it in a private screening, and it had some good reviews, bad reviews, but that isn't the point. We wanted to just show the film and just see people's reaction. 2 years later, we decided, let's trim it down. Let's make it 11 minutes. And we only captured the really main important parts, which is the transformational development between a human being and his journey, trying to find out what his passion is. And so we cut out most of the comedy, and we found out oh, this is really what we want. This is not going to disrespect anybody because it's not focused on just anybody. Right. It's focused just as a whole, you know? So it was pretty good.
And so a big theme in it is obviously follow your heart, be unique, right? Yeah. I have a question for you, kind of a personal, I guess, if you will, question. Doing a little research, I know you have a degree in visual communications and marketing, right? Okay. And you're predominantly a dancer?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever get to a point in your life where you had to choose between doing what most people would say is the right thing and be a businessman or a dancer? And if so, how did you come to the conclusion to just dance?
Yeah. For me, I feel like it was never really a choice where I sat down and said, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It kind of just happened, throughout school, I was always dancing to pay my bills and all that stuff. And I stumbled upon that too, I never knew that I could dance and make money doing it. So after I got out of school, I just found out that I was too busy to have a job. So I just didn't have a job, and it became what I was doing.
Awesome, I can make money doing this. This is perfect.
Yeah, that's a true story right there, I'll tell you that much. It's really hard to just make money and just struggle to do what you want to do, So you got to hustle it out.
And then what is your final goal for this movie? Where do you see it going? Where do you want it to take you?
Well, the movie itself, our mission was to obviously make a feature out of it. But with this story, we wanted to somehow transform people's lives. It's not just supposed to be for B-boys. That would be ridiculous. We want it so that kids, adults, anybody from all around the world can see it, apply it to their lives, and be like, wow, it's not just about B-boying. It could be with anything in our lives that we can become better, live in a world of truth, and not have to live in a world of lies and having to be something that you're not, and just pretty much just be yourself.
So there you go, guys. Be yourself. It's a great movie. You're going to feel good after you watch it, so make sure to support them and the movie B-Boy. I'm Ali Kona Bradford, and this is Dance Plug.